Pokemon Leaf Green with one Shuckle was brutal, so let's do something drastically different. Today's the day that we figure out, would I be able to beat Pokemon Black with a team of only first form bugs? First form bugs have really bad base stats, but the variety of them in Gen 5 gives us a lot of room to get creative with their movesets. Between Gen 5 having reusable TMs and so many different bugs to pick from, I should be able to build a really creative team. Like always, I'm writing this script as I go through with the challenge, so all of this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if you think I can win or not. I'm pretty confident that I can do this, but that the early game will be really hard. Bugs tend to faint fast, and it'll take a while to get a full team. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use first form bug Pokemon. I'll need other Pokemon for HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. I also can't use any bug Pokemon that only have one form either, like Durant or a Genesect. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only held items and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, thanks to Phil Bradshaw in the comments for suggesting this. Let's do this. So we can't get our first bug Pokemon until after the second gym, so I decided to use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to start with the earliest one that we can catch instead, Sewaddle. It's a grass and bug type with a bit of a lackluster moveset early on, but it'll have to do. Ours has the fantastic ability Swarm, so its bug moves do 50% more damage when we are below 1/3 of our max health. Our nature is sassy, so less speed and more special defense. I don't really have a strong opinion on that. Low speed is kinda lame, but I'm fine with it. Oh, also, I don't know if you noticed, but mine is shiny. Yes, I'm serious, and I swear to God, I didn't do some kind of hack to make this shiny. I literally just used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to change Snivy for Sewaddle. That's it. No way I am restarting to get a new nature, cause this is too cool. And before you accuse me of hacking the ROM so that I always get a shiny, let me prove that this is legit. Watch this. Here's my shiny, named Joey. I save, restart the game, start a new game. Let's fast forward through the intro a bunch, pick the same Pokemon, and as you can see here, it's not a shiny this time, no sparkle when it came out. This is all without switching to a different ROM, so you know it's legit. First try, got a shiny as my starter. Also, if I start sounding really hoarse over the course of this video, yeah, I'm sick, but I don't want to delay this video by yet another week, so enjoy ASMR MDB this week. I grind a little on Patrat and Lilpup in Route 1 to get some attack EVs and gain Bug Bite. A decent move for this early, and I'll probably keep it the whole game. Unfortunately, this might be our only strong move until after the always brutal second gym, so this won't be easy. The first fight with N was a one-shot thanks to Bug being super effective against Dark. You know, Bug Bite will probably be super useful for stealing berries from gym leaders and rivals. Bianca was no problem, but Sharon was hard. Tepig is both super effective against us, and our bug moves are not very effective against him. In fact, we're double weak to fire, so we take 4 times damage. I do use Bug Bite to eat his Oran Berry to heal myself, and thanks to that I was able to take him out after not too long. Let's move right on to the first gym. I get paired up with Fire Trainer Chili, and I just don't stand a chance yet. I got Razor Leaf at level 15, but it's grass and Bug Bite is bug, so all I can do is tackle Chili, who has double type advantage on me, so I take 4 times normal damage from his fire moves. I definitely need to grind. While I grind, here's a little map that I made showing where all the bugs we can catch are. So we're right here for grinding. We can get Venipede in Pinwheel Forest, Dwebble in Desert Route, Carablast at Route 6, Joltik at Chargestone Cave, Shelmet at Route 8, and lastly a Mystery Egg on Route 18. I wonder what's going to be in that. We actually have to get pretty far into the game for many of these, so this is going to be a pain. Anyway, the grind is done and we're level 18. I try the gym battle again, but even at level 18, I can't win this fight yet. I even held an Oran Berry since held items are allowed in the rules, but it just gets burnt up by Incinerate. This grind is really slow on level 4 to 7 wild Pokemon. It takes a bit over an hour, but we hit level 20 and I try the fight again. It's a scary fight because I still take so much more damage and he has a potion. He manages to take me all the way down to 2 health, but my tackles do just enough to take him out. We can finally make some progress again. Just outside of town, Sharon challenges us. Fire types are terrifying to deal with right now, and I nearly went down to his embers, but I was able to overpower him. His Purloin went down to 1 Bug Bite after, so thankfully I didn't have to grind more. Last before the second gym, we have another battle with N. He isn't anything too dangerous though, we take him out without any real trouble. The actual gym battle though goes poorly, but better than you might expect. I was using Razor Leaf hoping for a crit, but once I got below 1/3 of my health, Swarm kicked in and powered a Bug Bite to the point that I could take it Herdier even with Intimidate lowering my attack. Ha! Did you catch that? I didn't get Herdier wrong this time. What Geek gave me a phonetical pronunciation of every Pokemon in my whole script. You guys can't make fun of me for pronouncing all the Gen 5 Pokemon names wrong anymore. Watchog took me out with Retaliate, like I was nothing though, and I think this is gonna take more than a few attempts to win this, so I decide to go grind more. Thankfully, there's a much better grinding spot this time, even if it's not great. There's a doctor that's easy to talk to, a few trainers in the area, and the levels are a bit better. And yes, I fought Audino whenever I saw Wrestling Grass. People thought I didn't do that at all in the previous one. I don't know why I even brought it up. Next attempt and we're level 28. Herdier goes well thanks to only taking 2 Razor Leafs to take it out, and Watchog comes out. Just like in the Bidoof challenge, I win entirely because he bafflingly decides not to use Retaliate. He just leers me, so a critical Razor Leaf takes him out. Perfect. Now that we have access to Pinwheel Forest, we can finally get our second Pokemon, Venipede. It's Bug and Poison type, and has access to some pretty solid moves, so I'm happy to have this one. Ours is Impish nature, so defense is up and special attack is down. Pretty good. His ability is Swarm, just like Joey. I name him Says. Our next Pokemon isn't until after the 3rd gym, so let's go get that badge. Berg the Bug Trainer starts with Whirlipede, and instantly I know that I can't win this fight yet. Whirlipede resists Grass, Bug, and Poison, so almost every type that I have attacking moves for right now. A bit of grinding later, and I try again. This time I open with Says, and I use Screech 3 times to destroy Whirlipede's defense, then I keep using Bug Bite until I get the knockout. Next is Dwebble, so I switch for Joey and use Razor Leaf. I get really unlucky missing the first time, considering it's 95 accuracy, but the next 2 hit and knock him out easily. Last is Levani, who's weak to both Bug and Poison, so I switch to Says to see if I can poison him. A few Poison Tails did do a bit of damage, but Says couldn't last. Joey is out and I finish it easily with a Bug Bite. I got lucky, none of Berg's Pokemon landed in red health this time, so he never got to use his Super Potion. Before we can get our next Pokemon, we have 2 rival battles in rapid succession. First with Bianca. She's nothing too hard to deal with though, she doesn't really have anything that can handle our team yet, so let's just move on to Charon. It starts well, but now he's got Pignite, who's fire and fighting by this point. This thing is a nightmare to deal with because it resists Grass, double resists Bug, and has double type effectiveness against Joey. He made short work of us. I decided to try a few more times, this time replacing Joey's Struggle Bug with Attract. Although I make more progress, I still need to get very lucky to actually win this way. I decide to grind just a little bit more. I'll need levels sooner or later anyway. Grinding in this part of the game is especially hard, since the highest level Adinos we can find are in the Pinwheel Forest, so they're about half our level. Plus, the Shaking Grass and Pinwheel Forest aren't always Audino, sometimes they're much lower experience value Pokemon. Grinding and Shaking Grass also slows down other videos I work on, since normally I can pay half attention to the game while grinding and focus on more editing and stuff, but I guess that's part of the trade-off of getting experience faster. It's a shame because that's actually how I get Pokemon challenges that are really long done while still getting one done a week, is, while grinding in one, I can be editing the previous one I did, so I'm getting multiple done at the same time. Case in point, that's why this video's a week late, sorry. I'm just happy I get to level up multiple Pokemon, and thus it doesn't require as high a level, since Gen 5 gives you less experience if you're over-leveled. Hey, author's note, this is future MDB here. That was wrong. It actually took me way longer to grind in this by the end of the run than, God, almost anything else I've done. I think it took longer than the Wobbuffet one. Jesus. A while later and we take another shot at Charon. Pidove is easier to take out now without it spamming Roost, but Pignite is still pretty terrifying. I was able to get in a bit of damage with Says and use a Bug Bite to steal his berry before being taken out. Joey was able to finish it with a few attacks of his own, but not without taking a lot of damage first. Pansage is next, but one Bug Bite takes it out, and last is Liepard. It's faster and hits Pursuit, nearly taking us out, but our Bug Bite one-shots it, finally making our way through this really hard chunk of the run. With that taken care of, we can finally go to the desert resort and catch Dwebble. It's a rock and bug type that has a lot of pretty useful moves. Ours has the ability Shell Armor, so it can't get critically hit, and the nature is Bashful, so neutral stats. I name him Follow, and he's gonna be great since the next gym is the electric type one. I decide to help Follow catch up a bit in levels. Thankfully, there are much better grinding locations available to us now, so this doesn't take long at all. Next, we're on to N. Sorry if the battle isn't super exciting to watch, I forgot to turn battle animations back on after grinding. The fight was nothing too special though. For the most part, Joey and Follow could handle it, with me finishing his last Pokemon with Sez. Next, we have to do the electric gym. I grinded a lot for this fight, and it's a tough one. Volt Switch hits too hard to use Stealth Rock, since we can't give up our opportunities to use Rock Slide. We take out one Emolga and Zebstrika with it before Follow goes down. I try for Razor Leaf with Joey, but it doesn't get much done before 2 Aerial Aces take him out. I send out Sez, and a critical Poison Tail wins the fight for me. Between him holding a Scope Lens and Poison Tail's raised crit chance though, that wasn't as lucky as it looked. One more Charen fight before we get more Pokemon. For once, he was pretty easy. Now that Follow is a high level and has a strong rock move, Pignite isn't nearly as much of an issue. With that taken care of, we have another Pokemon to catch. We go to Route 6 to catch Carablast. Mine has Shed Skin, so it sometimes removes its own status afflictions, and it's Adamant Nature, so it has increased attack and lowered special attack. Considering it learned some high power moves, this might end up being pretty strong. Ground Gym Leader Clay is harder than I'd expect thanks to his Excadrill. It uses Hone Claws to jack up its attack and accuracy, then Rock Slide through our team like we're nothing on the first try. I'm thinking Attract might be a better route. I try for that, but I still get one shot if Excadrill isn't immobilized for multiple rounds, so I decide to grind more. This has actually been way more grind heavy than I expected. I figured that I could get by mostly by good move choice, but the fact of the matter is that our stats are really low. I had a good time watching Amanda EC? Amanda doing some speedrun practice. Check her out on Twitch in the description. I like to try and support small channels that help keep me sane during the grinding. Now we're up to level 40 and we stand a chance. Krokorok goes down easy since we're faster than him. Excadrill is next, so I use Attract on him while he hones his claws. I decide that Razor Leaf is my best bet, and 2 nearly take him out as Clay uses a Hyper Potion. Between him spamming Hone Claws and being immobilized by Love, I managed to never get hit by him. Last is Palpitoad, who goes down to 1 Razor Leaf, winning us the battle. Last before we get another Pokemon is another Bianca fight. Nothing worth talking about in this one though, easy beatdown. With that win, we can get on to Chargestone Cave and catch our next Pokemon, Joltik. I love this thing, it's one of my favorite Gen 5 Pokemon. Ours is hasty, so less defense and more speed. Great nature, since Electro Ball does more damage the faster I am compared to my opponent. Its ability is Unnerve, so our opponent can't eat berries. Not super strong, but I'll take what I can get, even though it popping up every battle makes grinding it way slower. It's nice to have an electric type on the team, though. Speaking of Chargestone Cave, we have another N fight here. He's loaded up with steel types, and we don't really have much to deal with that, so I mostly just use Bug Buzz a lot since it's a special attacking move. We were never in any serious danger, but it's a surprisingly long fight. Next up is the Flying Gym, so I'm happy that we have a Joltik. She sends out Swoobat, and I open with Follow. It hits Acrobatics, a really strong move, but it doesn't hurt us much, so between the recoil of our Rock Helmet and our Rock Slide, we take it out easily. Swanna is next, and it hits Bubble Beam, taking Follow out. I send On out. Swanna Aqua Rings, but I hit an Electro Ball for double type advantage. Shockingly, Swanna doesn't faint and hits Aerial Ace as I finish it with an Electro Web. Next is Unpheasant, and I throw another Electro Web at it for massive damage and lowering its speed. It starts charging a Razor Wind, but my Electro Ball finishes it off for a surprisingly easy fight. On my way out of town, we have another Charen battle. This is usually a rough one, but it goes incredibly smoothly. Nothing too bad. With that battle, we get Surf though, so I can take a trip back to the start of the game and head west to Route 18 to pick up an egg from this cabin. Take your guesses as to what's going to be in this egg, everybody. Let me know in the comments. Gee, I sure do hope that it's a first form bug Pokemon that I can use. My team feels really weird right now. It feels like a very important word is missing. No time to think about that though, we have badges to collect. My show is so stupid, why do you guys watch this crap? Next is the Ice Gym, another type we're weak against. I thought I was doomed, but it started better than I thought. Vanillish and Beartic both went down easily to a few rock slides, but his Cryogonal was absolutely wrecking me. Even with me hitting Toxic early in the fight, I lost a lot of Pokemon to this thing before it went down. Him having 2 Hyper Potions really kept him in the fight longer than I was expecting, but eventually I won. Who would have thought that the Ice and Flying gyms would be so simple in a bug challenge? Now that we're in the area though, we can catch our last wild Pokemon that we can use in this run, a Shelmet. I catch one and name it Luster? Luster Purge Pink? What a strange name! I wonder why I'd name it that. I guess you'll all have to Google and figure out what that's a reference to. Anyway, its ability is Hydration, so it heals status problems in the rain. Not very useful. Hardy nature, so no stat bonuses, but his moves aren't too bad. It's actually got a few really cool ones. It has the lowest base stats of any Pokemon we can use in this run though, so we might not use it a ton. But again, it does learn a few fantastic moves if I level it up pretty hard. It's situational, but I might hold on to this. With that done, we have one last Bianca fight. She still just isn't that hard. Stoutland takes out Cez easily, but not before losing half of his health and getting hit by Toxic. I send out On, and a Signal Beam and Toxic finish it off. Simisear is out, so I switch for Follow. It uses Leer, so I end it with Rock Slide. Samurott is next, so I switch for Joey. It tries to Encore when I haven't used a move yet, like an idiot, so 2 Razor Leafs take it out. Masharna's last, and it just keeps trying to buff itself, so I spam Bug Bite and Bug Buzz. It puts me to sleep at one point and it does some damage with Psybeam, but it was so obsessed with not using attacking moves that I won the fight that I really shouldn't have won. Last is the Dragon Gym, but as much as we're on a roll recently, I finally need to stop and grind again. Most Pokemon that we're fighting are about our level, but with far higher stats than us, so it's time to bulk up a bit. During the grind though, the egg starts to hatch, last chance to guess on what it'll be. It's Larvesta, a fire and bug Pokemon. Interesting combo. Ours is Lax, so extra defense at the cost of special defense, and it has Flame Body, a great ability that sometimes burns Pokemon who hit us with a physical move. I name it Twitter, link in the description, and start grinding it up, since this thing can get pretty strong. After a decent amount of grinding, I take a shot at the Dragon Gym. He only has 3 Pokemon, so he isn't too bad, although Haxorus is an absolute beast. Much like the Cryogonal from the Ice Gym, we had to slowly whittle this guy down with half my team before I could beat him. Last before the Elite Four though, we have one last Charon fight. We absolutely don't stand a chance yet though. Emboar can sweep most of our team with Flamethrower, so I need to grind much more. An entire day later, and we're trying again. Unfezant tries to stall on with Direct, but Electro Ball crits and takes it out in one hit. Emboar is out, and I Electro Web it to lower its speed, knowing that I'll probably faint. It hits Flamethrower and On is down, but at least the rest of my team is faster now. Emboar has leftovers too, so it heals every turn. Cez is out, and I manage to hit Toxic. Another Flamethrower, and Cez goes down. I send out Follow next and try to Rock Slide for some damage, but it doesn't do much. I hardly survive Flamethrower and hit another Rock Slide. Between the poison damage and the Rock Slide damage, we both faint that round. Joey is out next with Liepard, and although Night Slash hits hard, Bug Buzz nearly knocks it out. We survive a second Night Slash and finish it off with a second Bug Buzz. Last is Simisage, so we keep Joey in the fight. Seed Bomb does almost nothing, and one Bug Buzz ends the rival fight. Next we have a strange challenge, the Elite Four. 2 of the Elite Four are weak to Bug type, and that's nice, but I'm worried about the fighting trainers since we resist each other. Much to my surprise though, even the Dark Trainer was too much for us. His Scrafty absolutely destroyed us. I could hardly survive it, and I didn't get much farther in the fight beyond that. I have to grind again. This grind is pretty horrible. The best thing I can grind my team on is the Elite Four Psychic member, but her second Pokemon one-shots most of my team, every time with Air Slash and Psychic. For a while I even resort to grinding in Victory Road. Before this, I was even grinding on Audinos at the route before Victory Road, but that was so much slower, especially with the travel time to the Poke Center, whereas in Victory Road, I have a doctor right there. Eventually, my team is at level 60, so I go after the Dark member first. This time, I was able to take out Scrafty without even taking damage, thanks to using Twitter with Acrobatics. No, I don't know why Larvesta can learn Acrobatics either. Second out is his Liepard, and it goes down to one Bug Buzz from Joey. Third is a very powerful Bisharp. But I've got Fire Blast, and between that and him being burned from Flame Body, he got taken out before he could full restore. Last was his Crocodile, and Follow took him out with no problem and a couple of X-Scissors. 10 levels really made a world of difference here, thanks to not being slower than him. Next is the Psychic Elite Four member, and she's tough, but I was able to beat her in training, so this wasn't so bad. First is Runecluse, so I have Follow set up a Stealth Rock. Psychic hits us incredibly hard, as my X-Scissor almost takes him out. Follow goes down as I send out Joey. She uses a full restore as I expected, but even with low special attack, Bug Buzz did a lot. A Bug Bite finishes it off. Next is Sigilyph, who's part flying, so this is a lot harder to fight. Stealth Rock hurt it, and an Electro Ball from On nearly took it out, but Psychic hits us hard, and it's in full restore range. I'm faster though, so 2 Electro Balls took it out no problem. Third is Masharna, so I Bug Buzz it for solid damage. Psychic takes out On, so I switch for Joey and finish it off with a Bug Bite. Last is Gothitelle, and I keep using Bug Bite. Psychic crits and nearly takes us out, but another Bug Bite ends it. Oh god, I suffer for you guys. Next is the fighting trainer Marshall. He is absolutely terrifying since his whole team have rock moves. He sends out Throw first, so I send out Follow and set up my Stealth Rock. He hits hard with Stone Edge, but at least Follow is tanky. I hit X-Scissor for almost no damage, but honestly, Throw isn't using the best moves in the world either. Rock Slide also hits for almost no damage as he finishes me with a Stone Edge. At least I got my Stealth Rock in. Twitter is next, and I hit hard with Acrobatics, finishing Throw off. He sends Sock out next, and I switch for On so that I can lower his speed with Electro Web. I know that Stone Edge will one-shot most of my team, so I'm gonna need a speed advantage if I'm gonna stand a fighting chance. On just hardly manages to hang on long enough for an Electro Ball, although Sock survives and finishes me off. Twitter is back out and easily finishes the fight with Acrobatics. Third is Conkeldurr, perhaps the doofiest name I've ever heard for a Pokemon. I hit Toxic with Sez, and thankfully he misses Stone Edge. I hit Venoshock for a good chunk of damage, and almost faint to a Stone Edge. A second Venoshock, and although I faint, my Poison finishes him off. That went better than I expected. I send out Luster Purge Pink, and he sends out Mindshow. I get hit hard with Rock Slide as I start to build up my Acid Armor for defense. The plan was to tank up, recover, and use Final Gambit to one-shot it, but Mindshow crit with a Rock Slide, bypassing my buffed defense and taking me out. I send out Twitter but have a speed disadvantage, taking massive damage from Rock Slide. Acrobatics does manage to win the fight though, so I can't complain too much. Last is the Elite Four Ghost Trainer Chantel. She sends out Cophagrigus, I think I said that right this time, so I send out On. I fail a Sucker Punch twice because she misses Will-O-Wisp twice, and Sucker Punch only works if they're using a damaging move. Weird start. Third one hits for good damage as I get hit with Shadow Ball for half my health. Electro Ball does another good chunk and I hardly survive Shadow Ball. One last Electro Ball ends her. Chandelure is next, so I switch for Follow. Rock Slide hits hard and causes a flinch. She full restores and I Rock Slide again. This time I crit and took her out. So I switch for On as Jellicent comes out. Electro Ball doesn't do as much as I had expected as I go down to Brine. Joey's out. Razorleaf finishes her off. So last out is Golurk. Razorleaf nearly takes it out in one hit as Shadow Punch is surprisingly weak. She full restores despite not having red health, but 2 Razorleafs end the fight. That went far smoother than I was expecting. As usual since third game, the world is basically ending, so we should probably hurry up and beat the game. Good news is that I can heal after the Elite Four in this game. Bad news is there's 2 final bosses after the Elite Four, not just 1. Unlike in my Bidoof run, I have a full party, so thankfully, despite being forced to catch Reshiram, I don't actually have to put him on my party, so I can just start the fight with N right away. I tried this fight so many times, but it just isn't happening. On the very few lucky attempts that I get a few Pokemon into the fight, Archeops one-shots the entire rest of my team with Stone Edge. I have to level even more. The leveling is pretty frustrating. Because of Gen 5's experience system where they give you less experience if the Pokemon are an even lower level than you, challenges like this that require you to be a higher level for your stats to be competitive end up being really slow. It's a shame because the unlimited TM use adds a really cool level of strategy, but it doesn't matter how good your moves are, if everything is faster than me and one-shots me, I have no choice but to level up more. This grind was actually so brutal that it's the one that made me realize that I couldn't get this done on the day that I originally wanted this to. Even with me working almost every waking hour I could for days on end, I just couldn't get this one done on time. I'm really sorry about that, guys. I know you guys all love that I do one Pokemon challenge every week, but this challenge was just so much slower than I was expecting. I tried to keep you guys updated on Twitter so that you wouldn't be so disappointed when the video doesn't go up on Saturday, but, you know, I know a lot of you don't follow me there, so I guess the best thing I can do is just explain myself here. Again, I'm really sorry about that. 2 whole days later, and the team hits level 70, so I try the end fight again. Zekrom starts the fight, of course, so I open with Sez to poison him. He hits big with Fusion Bolt, but at least I hit Toxic. He puts up a light screen, so my Venoshock hardly hurts him. Zen Headbutt finishes me off, so I switch for Follow. I set up my Stealth Rock as he goes for another Fusion Bolt for decent damage. One Rock Slide finishes Zekrom off, so he sends out Caracosta. I switch for Joey, and thanks to my Stealth Rock doing damage, Caracosta can't use Endure to survive my Razor Leaf and ends up getting one-shot. Light Screen finally falls, and he's sending out Klinklang, so I switch to Twitter to have a Fire type. He uses Flamethrower on me, but he doesn't do too much, as my Fire Blast lands for huge damage, revealing that he's actually using a Zoroark. I think I'm saying that right. Sorry, that's really hard to say with my accent. He full restores as I nail it with yet another Fire Blast. He Flamethrowers me one last time, bringing me to low health as my Flame Wheel finishes him off. Archeops is next, and this thing is dangerous. I send out On, and between Electro Ball and Stealth Rock, I take it out before it can hit its terrifying Stone Edge that absolutely would have one-shot me. The real Klinklang is out next, and I send Twitter back out. I get taken out with a Hyper Beam before I can Fire Blast, so I switch out for Luster Purge Pink and take it out in one hit with Final Gambit while he was recovering. Final Gambit uses all of my health to deal that exact number to the opponent, so although I faint, I completely crush Klinklang. Last is Vanillux, so I send out On. Stealth Rock hits it hard, as does Electro Ball, as his Blizzard misses. A second Electro Ball finishes off Vanillux, finally winning us the fight. As triumphant as that battle was, and as happy as I am to have finally won the fight, this isn't the final battle before the credits. Next, I have to fight Getsus. He opens with Cofagrigus, and since we just finished the end fight, we still have Sez at the front of our party. Although Cofagrigus goes pretty well with me badly poisoning him, then later Sucker Punching him with On, his next Pokemon is Hydreigon, a brutally strong pseudo-legendary Pokemon. This thing is faster than our entire team and one-shots nearly all of them. Plus, it has 100 accuracy moves like Surf. Once again, because of his speed advantage and one-shotting us, our only choice is to level up more so that we can at least attack first and form a strategy around that. Eventually, we hit level 75 with the whole team and we can try again. This was once again a whole day later, by the way. We open with Sez versus Cofagrigus and I hit Toxic right off the bat. Psychic messes me up, but I hang on and hit a Venoshock. It hardly hurts him as he finishes me off easily. I send out Follow to Stealth Rock as we get hit by Toxic. Feint Attack does more damage than I expected thanks to our high attack stat, so he actually goes down without much trouble. Next is Bisharp, so I switch for Twitter and Fire Blast it for a shocking one-shot. I didn't actually think that it would go down so easily. Next is Symmetode, so I have Joey hit Razor Leaf for another easy one-shot. Hydreigon is next, and I try for Attract, but one Fire Blast takes me out easily. I switch for Luster and try to use Final Gambit, but it Fire Blasts me, so I only end up hitting a measly 47 damage with it. Not nearly enough. Next is On, and I Electro Web to lower its speed for the rest of my team. Fire Blast misses, so I decide to Electro Ball. Before you ask, yes, I did forget that bug is super effective against Hydreigon. It was a little bit brain fright after all the grinding, to be honest. Electro Ball hits hard, but not hard enough as we hang on with 4 health from a Fire Blast. He full restores and I hit another Electro Web to make sure that the rest of my team is faster than him. Another Electro Ball does a bit of damage, and we go down to a Focus Blast. Next is Follow, and Rock Slide hits pretty hard. We get nailed with Surf and go down instantly. Twitter is our last Pokemon, and we end Hydreigon with 1 Acrobatics. He sends out Tauros with an Afro, and I try to overpower it with Acrobatics. We get hit with a Head Charge, but 2 attacks finish it. The last of both of our teams are here as he sends out Electros, a Pokemon that I can never remember if it's electric and water or just electric. I make the mistake of using Acrobatics as he does the same, and we're both pretty hurt. I land a Fire Blast, leaving him with the smallest sliver of health, as he finishes me with Flamethrower. We were so close. As much as that was a heartbreaker, I don't think we need to grind anymore. He relied on Fire Blast, and that's a move that has a high miss chance, so better luck could help, and we could always improve my strategy. Look at our team. Our stats might be crap for this level, but we genuinely have a lot of great moves. If I am really on my A game and have a bit better luck, I can do this. Feint Attack takes Coffagrigus to half health. I get hit by Toxic and set up Stealth Rock. Shadow Ball does a lot of damage, as does the Poison. He stalls us with Protect, so I take even more poison damage before I can finish him with a second Feint Attack. Pasharp is out next, so once again we have Twitter take him out in one Fire Blast. Next is Seismitoad. Again, Joey takes him out in one Razor Leaf. His dreaded Hydreigon is out next, but we're better prepared this time. I switch to On and slow him down with Electro Web again as he nails us with a strong Fire Blast. A second Electro Web really brings his health down due to a crit, as his Focus Blast misses me. I use Electro Ball, but go down to his next Focus Blast. I switch for Joey, and I finally remember that I could be using bug moves, so I Bug Bite him with our high attack and finish him off. Electros is out sooner this time, so I send out Sez and poison it with Toxic. Flamethrower nearly takes us out, as I hit a Venoshock for passable damage. Acrobatics takes us out, but we did a lot of damage. I send out Follow and finish him off with Rock Slide as our own poison finishes us off too. He sends out Buffalant last, but we have the numbers advantage this time. Flame Body burns him, and Acrobatics hits him hard, but he full restores. We're too much for him to handle though, as 2 Acrobatics manage to finish off the fight, winning us the run. That was an awesome run, and I'm sure some of you want me to do the post-game, because there's a lot of post-game in Gen 5, but this video is already a week late. There is no way that I can do the post-game and not have this run go on forever. I gotta get a head start on the next one. Sorry again that this took 2 weeks instead of the usual 1 week. I just had to grind so much more than I expected, so I hope that you guys really like this one. I'm gonna try and pick a faster one for next week. One that you guys have requested that hopefully shouldn't take too long. Pokemon Ruby with 1 Skitty. I predict that this one will be ready for next Saturday. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. If you want to see me do more challenges like this, please let me know in the comments or on Twitter. I can always use more ideas from you guys on what challenges I should do next. In fact, this was a requested one. As is the one I'm doing next week, in fact. Also, check out the playlist in the description to watch all the Pokemon challenges that I've already uploaded, because I've done like, 13, 14? If you guys want to see more Pokemon stuff from me, my friend Whatageek and I are doing a Pokemon Black and White randomized playthrough over on his channel. That's in the description. Also, come to my Twitch streams and tell me that this video sent you. It's always cool to hear how you found the channel. And I'm doing a live Pokemon challenge over there that you might be into. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.